10 reasons men lose interest and how to keep them hooked. One of the most frustrating experiences in life is watching someone who seems so invested in you suddenly lose interest. It leaves you questioning everything. Was it me? Was it them? Did I do something wrong? In this video, I'm going to break down 10 reasons men lose interest and, more importantly, how you can keep them hooked. We're going deeper into the mind, uncovering the truths most people won't tell you. If you're ready for some clarity, keep watching. Point 1. When men feel overwhelmed by clinginess, men are wired to value autonomy. When a relationship begins to feel suffocating, it triggers an innate need for escape. Clinginess, constantly texting, needing validation, or demanding too much time, can make a man feel like he's losing himself. While it might come from a place of love, to him, it feels like a loss of freedom. This dynamic often ties into the concept of reactance. When someone perceives their freedom as being restricted, they instinctively push back. Overdependence creates an association between the relationship and stress, making it less about joy and more about responsibility. No man wants to feel like your emotional crutch 24/7. But how do you keep him hooked? Strike a balance. Be present, but not overbearing. Show him you have your own life, interests, and independence. Men are drawn to women who exude confidence and strength. Independence is not only attractive, it shows that you don't need someone to complete you. And that's magnetic. Point 2. If the thrill of the chase fades too quickly for many men, the thrill of the chase is an irresistible part of attraction. But if the relationship becomes too predictable or one-sided too quickly, that sense of excitement fades. This doesn't mean you need to play mind games, but it does mean you should keep the dynamic engaging. When dopamine, the brain's reward chemical, peaks during the pursuit, it creates a high that men associate with attraction. Once that pursuit ends, the reward feels less intense, and he might seek stimulation elsewhere. Predictability, while safe, can dull the spark. Keep him hooked. Inject novelty and surprise into the relationship. Try new experiences together, explore shared passions, or plan spontaneous adventures. It's about keeping the connection fresh and unpredictable, not for manipulation, but to maintain the natural intrigue that comes with growing together. Point 3. Men pull away when they don't feel emotionally connected. Men don't just walk away from relationships for superficial reasons. A lack of emotional connection can drive them to withdraw. While physical attraction often starts a relationship, it's emotional intimacy that keeps it alive. When men feel like they can't express themselves openly, they start to detach. Emotional intimacy stems from feeling understood and valued without judgment. A man who doesn't feel safe enough to share his vulnerabilities will look elsewhere for that sense of connection. He doesn't need a therapist. He needs a partner who can listen without immediately solving or critiquing. Keep him engaged. Foster emotional safety. Encourage open conversations, share your own feelings, and show genuine interest in his experiences. The relationships men invest in long-term are the ones where they feel truly seen and heard. Point 4. Men check out when boredom creeps in. Boredom might sound trivial, but it's a major reason men lose interest. When a relationship falls into routine, the emotional excitement that initially drew him in starts to fade. For some men, the predictability feels less like stability and more like stagnation. Hedonic adaptation explains how people quickly acclimate to positive changes, making them feel less thrilling over time. This isn't just about grand gestures. Even small repeated patterns can make the relationship feel stale if nothing new is introduced. How do you combat this? Be intentional about creating shared experiences that disrupt monotony. Surprise him with something spontaneous, try a new activity together, or even revisit something fun from your early days as a couple. Adventure and growth aren't just luxuries. They're essential to keeping a bond alive. Point 5. Men withdraw when they feel criticized. No one likes feeling attacked, and men are no exception. When a man feels consistently criticized or unappreciated, it takes a toll on his confidence and emotional engagement. Even well-intentioned comments like, "Why can't you just do this right?" can come across as dismissive or demeaning. Criticism often builds resentment, creating emotional distance that's hard to overcome. A relationship without mutual respect, or one that feels like a battlefield, becomes exhausting. It's not about avoiding feedback, but delivering it constructively. Avoid this. Frame your concerns as requests rather than complaints. Highlight what he does well and collaborate on solutions for areas that need improvement. Men who feel appreciated are more likely to stay invested because they know their efforts matter. 6. When he feels the relationship lacks direction, men thrive when they see purpose in what they do, and relationships are no different. When a relationship feels aimless or directionless, men often question its value. If he doesn't see a future, whether through shared goals or mutual growth, he might start pulling back. Relationships that stagnate, where conversations about the future are avoided, can feel like dead ends. This isn't about rushing milestones, but about demonstrating that both partners are building something meaningful together. Maintain his interest. Involve him in discussions about what lies ahead. Show him that your relationship is evolving in ways that benefit both of you. Purpose doesn't just ground a relationship, it gives it momentum. Point 7. Men pull away when they're overwhelmed by expectations. Constant pressure to meet unrealistic standards can make any man feel like he's fighting a losing battle. Whether it's about providing a certain lifestyle or meeting specific emotional needs, feeling like he's always falling short can be a deal breaker. When expectations overshadow appreciation, a man begins to associate the relationship with stress rather than joy. He doesn't need perfection from you, but he does need room to breathe. How do you address this? Focus on celebrating his efforts rather than critiquing where he falls short. Show that your love is unconditional and not tied to achievements. Relationships thrive when they're partnerships, not performance reviews. Point 8. Men stay hooked when they feel challenged. Contrary to popular belief, men don't want a relationship that's entirely easy. They crave a partner who challenges them, not through constant conflict, but by inspiring growth. A relationship that feels stagnant or overly one-sided is a relationship that will eventually lose its appeal. That a sense of challenge doesn't mean creating obstacles. It's about maintaining individuality, pursuing your passions, and bringing your unique perspective into the partnership. Men value someone who pushes them to think differently and expand their horizons. Keep them engaged. Never lose sight of who you are outside the relationship. Your independence and ambition aren't just attractive. They're vital to keeping the dynamic fresh and exciting. Point 9. When stress from outside the relationship takes over, not every reason a man loses interest is about the relationship itself. External stressors, work pressures, family problems, or personal challenges can consume his focus, leaving little room for emotional connection. When overwhelmed, men often retreat rather than reaching out. It's not a reflection of how he feels about you, but a coping mechanism to manage his stress. What can you do? Be a source of support without adding to his pressure. Offer understanding and patience, and avoid making his detachment feel like a personal rejection. When he sees you as a calm and steady presence, it deepens the trust between you. Point 10. Men lose interest when they feel unappreciated. Taking someone for granted is a silent but powerful relationship killer. When a man feels like his efforts go unnoticed, he begins to disengage. Small gestures like planning a date or solving a problem lose their meaning if they're met with indifference. That a relationship thrives on mutual recognition. Even the simplest thank you can reaffirm his value in your life. Without this, resentment builds and interest fades. The solution is straightforward: practice gratitude. Pay attention to the little things he does and acknowledge them genuinely. Appreciation isn't about flattery. It's about showing that you see and value the effort he's putting into the relationship. That if you have made it this far, let us know what you think in the comment section below. Thanks for watching.